Okay, what's up, folks? Today is June the 3rd, 2024, and today we're going to talk about the high and low lines, the high and low levels of the day. On my charts, I actually have them going from one end of the chart to the next. If you see here, I have it looking like such. And there is a request that they don't all go to the right-hand side of the screen. I believe that's what Jim was asking for. You see how they all these lines keep coming to the right, which I like because it gives me because a lot of times I trade right in here, right? I trade right in here, and I don't have enough, I don't plan well enough to look back at the chart several days ago and see that there is a price level coming up right here. There was a low of the day, or this price level coming up right here that was a high of the day, and now it's got some trouble getting over that. And then once it gets over it, now it comes back and retests it. But if you don't want to see those lines, then let's make an indicator that makes it so you don't see those lines. The other thing that I wanted to do, and I probably won't do it on this recording, I'll probably go back and do another recording. This is what happened today. And so I had a few ideas that I want to test out to see, to make a new script for the day, right? So essentially we're looking for a drop in price. We're looking for like a down up. And then when we have that down up, that full down up, that's not the time to enter. You wait till you get another down up, or a pin bar, or I don't know. It's not a dragonfly, whatever rejection you get at the bottom. But we really want to see the bottom of that down up take out the bottom of this, which happens down here. And so we take that line, we take this bottom, draw a trend line between the two. Okay, and not only that, but we take the midpoint of that down up and the midpoint of this down up or rejection candle, whatever. If it's a two candle setup where it's like this, or if it's a one candle setup where it's like this, we have to code for either. And so we're going to take the midpoint of this and the midpoint of this, draw a line through that. Take the bottom of this and the bottom of this, draw a line through that. And then we want to see the candle drop below this lower line and wick up hard. Then we want to see, and that's going to be on higher volume, and then this one here will move up, and then this will be on lower volume. I believe that's what we saw it. Yeah, so see, that one is on higher volume. Let me see here. This guy here is on higher volume, this is on lower volume, and then this one just doesn't retrace much. So that's the next program that I want to code for. I guess I won't have time to do it here just now, because I'm gonna run after this, but then I'll come back and do it. All right, so let's see. Let's get this one out of here. How do we do that? I'm gonna go here. All right. All right, so let's open up a new indicator. So this is going to be called, what am I going to call it? I'm going to call it YTB, high, low, daily. And I believe that's what Jim was asking for. So if I'm wrong, if you catch me while I'm in the middle of the video, that'd be great. We can knock it out. But otherwise, we'll have to make corrections some other time. I said ignore. Okay. Alrighty then. Let's get this opened up. So this should be fairly straightforward. Now these aren't entries to take. This is an idea that somebody had on the TradeStation forums, and they were just wondering how to make it work. And this is a code that I put together yesterday on a video for you guys. So, all right, 5-minute time frame. Let's get this out of here. Okay, so make daily high, low lines that end on. I'm imagining that you want them to end on the same day. So let's see. I know we got to draw a line, so we're gonna using EL system, drawing, using EL system drawing objects, and we know we're gonna need. I don't know if I should do 2 or 1. We're gonna do 2. Horizontal line, high line, null, and horizontal line, low line, null. Okay, so once we need to do, just declare these guys. HL is equal to horizontal line. I was going to do dot create, but we'll do new horizontal. My butterfingers today. All right. After that, we need to just find out what the high of the day is. Okay, so, and this is pretty easy. Like I said, this is kind of a piggyback off of the video that we did yesterday. We're just going to use high D to find our high of day. And the thing that we want to do now is, instead of drawing a horizontal line wherever the high day is, I think, all right, so typically to get the lines on the right hand side of the screen, you want to extend right? So what I end up doing is I'll just do horizontal line, and then I will backdate it for the beginning of the day, and I will let the endpoint be whatever the current low of day or high of day is. And then and this is where you would change it for yourself. I don't know if, whoever's using the study, if you're interested in 9:30 being the start of your high day, or if you're interested in 12 a.m. being the start of your high day. So that's up to you. If you're London session, New York session, whatever, you got to make the decision on what time you want to be the start of your day, capture your sessions. So we're going to say, if time is equal to 0930, then begin. We're going to do HL dot, so we really didn't even need this up here. But anyway, HL equals horizontal line that creates, and that's it. Yeah. So we're not going to use a horizontal line. We're going to use a trend line. We're going to use a trend line. Because if we use a horizontal line, then it's just going to go all the way across either way. There is no extension. There's just a price level, and then it's just going to go to the right and left hand side of the screen. So watch this. So we're going to do if time is equal to 9:30, then begin. Well, I don't want to. I could do it this way, but I have to go down a pigeonhole in order to show you everything that's involved. I don't know. It's good practice for me. All right, so let's go. All right, so if time is equal to 9:30, then horizontal line that create, we're going to create it, and we're going to use the high D of 0, and then we're going to end that, and then we'll end there. And so if time is 9:30, then we're going to get a line, right? So we can go ahead and verify that. That should verify no problem. YTV. So go down. YTV. Okay, so we ought to get a couple lines for every day though, right? So scaling, put it at the top. Same as underlying that. Where are my lines at? Okay, so we didn't, let's see, drawing objects, dot add, HL. All right. If time is equal to 9:30, these times not equal to 9:30? We don't have a 9:30 on here? Let's do 9:35. Because again, technically the session doesn't begin till 9:30, and so your first bar ends at 9:35, and so you don't have any lines at 9:30. You first get them at 9:35. So these are all your highs we went back on this chart is 15 days back, so we got to have 15 lines on here, one representing each high of the day. Now, and again, the horizontal line is just a horizontal line. It goes right to left. There's no extension there. So if we look at the most recent day, all right. So, and actually, it's not the high of day. It's just the high at 9:35, right? So since the 9:35 time is not actually the high of the day, but it's the first candle. So at the first candle, the highest of the day is going to be what you plot. And then as the chart moves, you want to update that if you get a new higher high, right? So what happens is if time is equal to 9:35, then begin, we're going to go ahead and get that first line. And then we'll say if HL is not null and high of day 0 is greater than, I don't even know if I can do this. High of day of 0 a bar ago. I don't even know if I can do that, so we'll see. Then update price, update level, and that would be a method. So we'll put a method up here that gets called on. There's going to be method void update level, begin, end. Okay, so it was fine. It did work. All right, so what we're going to want to do is, if we do have a high of day that's greater than the high of day a bar ago, then we want to update this horizontal line. How do we want to update the horizontal line? We want to use hl.set, I guess set value. hl.value. Price. All these trend lines, horizontal lines, ellipses, they all have different properties. So so the new price will be the high of day of 0. So, and 0 means the current bar. Okay, so now that we updated it, right? So now that we updated it, that's pretty much saying every time we get a new high of day, you're going to update this line to the next highest day. So it started off, right here, and then once the bar moved up to here, it ended here. Once it moved up to here, the bar ended here. Once it ended here, it ended here. Here. And now on this day, our final bar is up here, right? Now, what we need to do, however, is we don't want the horizontal lines, right? So, so Jim doesn't want them to be from the left-hand screen to the right-hand of the screen. So we need to make it actually just a trend line. So this would be, let's make this trend line, high line, that's fine. And like I said, I don't even think we need this one statements. Okay, so if time is equal to 935, then the high line is equal to trendline.create. Now, how are we going to create that trend line? We're going to create it based on the high of day at 935, and then the second point will be the yeah, it's going to get a little, it's not going to get terribly tricky, but it's just going to be a lot of pieces, because we're going to have a beginning point and an end point for both the high line and the low line, and then we're going to have a price level. So so let's do this. So if time is equal to 935, then time is equal to 935, then high line trendline.create. I want this to be simpler, so I'm just going to call HD. I'm going to call it HD. That's going to be high of day. HOD, high of day. All right, so HD, HOD, that. And then we're going to put low of day, that. And then HOD is going to be equal to high D of 0. And that way we don't have to keep rewriting that. And then low of day is going to be equal to low day of 0. And then we'll come in here. And because for a trend line to be created, we need a bar number point, BM point dot create. And then we need the bar number and the price. So bar number plus max bars back minus 1. And then the price is going to be the high of day, which is HOD. And then for the second point, we're going to do bn point.create, and then bar number plus max bars back minus 1 HOD. Okay, so it's going to be the same price, if you will. And at the time that it's first created, it will just be a dot. It won't have a length to it. Yes, so I'm going to add that to the chart. And now, if the high line is not equal to null and the high of day and so we need this to update every bar anyway. Because on every bar, it needs to at least lengthen. So we're going to update level, and update level is going to be, now we might get a new price. So if HOD is greater than HOD a bar ago, then you know what? We don't even need to do that. We'll just use HOD. We'll just use HOD. So we'll just update the endpoint. Well, because it's a trend line, we also need to update the beginning point as well. The beginning point needs to be, the price level needs to be updated. Not the bar, which that's unfortunate because now we also need to keep track of how many bars have passed. So time is equal to 9:35. We're going to do that, and then we're also going to count plus equal to 1, and then we'll say if count is, so this is like a counter, if count is greater than or equal to 1, then count plus equal 1. So we just need to make this equal to 1 here, and that'll start the count. So then this first time that happens, that'll be 1. First time we get the first bar, that's going to be 1. And then yeah, we can go ahead and start counting on the second iteration. So we'll start counting here, and then trying to figure out if I need this method to be down here or up here. Well, this is only going to happen once, so it doesn't really matter. Count is only going to be equal to one time, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so update level is going to be, we're going to go ahead and start the counter. So if count is greater than or equal to 1, then count plus equals 1. So now we're going to update the trend line, which is going to be HL dot set start point, BM point dot create, bar number, price. So bar number plus max bars back minus 1, and then we need to subtract whatever is in the counter count, and then we will have the price, which is HOD. Close that, and then HL dot set endpoint, BN point dot create, bar number plus minus 1, and then so that's going to be the current bar, so we'll just leave that there, and then it's going to be HOD. Close that, hit that, and then we're going to draw it. I don't think we need to redraw it because it's already on the screen. Okay. All right, that ought to be it. See what kind of errors we get. Let's try to not have errors though. So we got the updated update level. That's a method. That's that. HL. That's that. HOD. LOD. We need to put count on here. Count 0. I think that's the only thing we added. So we verify that we did have an issue. Something with the parentheses. All right. No errors. But an object reference not set to an instance of an object. Oh, gotcha. So if HL is not equal to null, then update level. Bingo, bango, tingo, tango. There you go. Okay, so there are your lines for your highs that will only go the session that you're looking for. And again, you can play with this and you can say, all right, well, if HL is not equal to null, then update level. So you can say if you only wanted to update up through, not all the way through 4 o'clock, you only wanted to update through say 2 o'clock, and say if HL is not equal to null and time is less than or equal to 2 o'clock, then update. So let's see, do I have to remove this before it? Oh, I put greater than equal to, less than equal to. There we go. All right, so now if we do have the object, if we do have the horizontal line on the screen and the time is less than 2 o'clock, then we're going to update the level. Again, so like I said, you can change this time to 9:35. If you're doing futures, you can make it go to 12 o'clock in the morning if you want to. What is this? What session is this on? 24 hours. Okay. I don't know why we have a gap there. We still are only going to 5 o'clock. Oh, no, that's the weekend. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so you see here what it did was it ran the hive day all the way up until that thing just kept going actually. All right, so the hive day, it started at 9:35, which we told it to, and then it kept going, kept going, kept going. 1 o'clock in the evening, 2 o'clock in the evening, 3 o'clock in the evening, 4 o'clock in the evening, it didn't stop, right? So it still went through these after hours, which is, I would expect for it to stop here, you know, because that's the same day. That's the hive day. So let's see. If the horizontal line is on the screen and the time is less than 1400, then update. And then we're doing the high of day. I mean, I don't know how, I honestly don't know how high of day is calculated for futures, but I thought that futures would stop the hive day, or the new hive day would be effective at 12 o'clock. And at 12 o'clock, you get a new hive day. But that doesn't look to be the case. And honestly, it didn't get this high day right anyway. Because this hive day on 5:30 should have been here. Not here. Time is less than or equal to 2 o'clock. And that's not a new line. Time is less than or equal to 2 o'clock. Then update the level. Did I verify that? I did verify that. I think that's what I had to do before. I had to take it off and then put it back on. But yeah, that's still not... Well, clearly that's not right. I think it's crossing days. So 9:35 here, it stopped the line and gave us the high from the Oh. Whenever you stop the line, you also need to restart the counter. I believe that's got something to do with it because it's going back too far. So if the high level is not equal to null and the time is less than 1400, then updating the level based on count from 935. Yeah. So two things are happening. One thing is this, it's still updating past 2 o'clock. And when it's updating past 2 o'clock, once it passes this 12 o'clock mark here, now the high of after 12 o'clock, this is the high of the day, right? This is the high of the day up until this point. It's not thinking about what happened yesterday at all. But because our counter is still holding on to that value from that many bars ago, it's actually plotting our line that far back. But our high of day should not go past the day, right? But so why is it going past the day? Because we said if high line is not null and time is less than or equal to 1400, I know what it is. I think. No. Yeah, I do. So, like, and that's why when we went over here to the very end, it looked like it was right? It looked like the time stopped at 2 o'clock. Well, it did. And we told it to stop at 2 o'clock. But when you go here to any prior bar, the line will stop drawing at 2 o'clock. Where for 14, the line will stop drawing right here, right? It'll stop drawing right here. And because this continues to be false. False, 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 false. Because the time is greater than 1400. But then once you get here, now the time is less than 1400. And so now it'll start drawing again. So we've got to determine, we can use it by the number of bars, by the counter, or we could do something with the date. We could say that the date here has got to be equal to the date of the first point. So, and again, this is stuff I've never done before, but I got an idea of how to do it. So let's find out what the date of the start point is. So we're going to do HL dot. You see you got endpoint there. It'll get the endpoint. HL dot, not set start point, but get the start point. And we don't want the price, we actually want the date. You know what? I bet I can save it as a bar number point. So BN point, we'll call it BP is null. That's going to be an object. And then so then when I get down here, HL start point. Start point is going to be an object. We don't need to add any parameters to it. Let's call that BP. BP is going to be equal to this start point. So now we have BP actually being a object with data, with value. So BP dot bar number. They give us bar number. Let's do. I wonder, could we do it as a date time point? But we did it here as a bar number point. So I wonder, can we then switch it and use and do it as a date time point? Let's try. Date time point. Okay, so now we're going to do BP dot. Now you see it changed. It changed to date time of bar. So we're going to use date time of bar. And then we'll say, do we want the day? The time? I think we want the day. The day. And technically we want the date. EL date. Let's try that. So now we have the date of that first bar. And so now we're going to say if HL is not null and the date of that bar, the date of whatever current bar we're processing, the date of this bar, or the date of this bar, or the date of this bar, or the date of this bar, and the date is equal to the same date of this, right? We're going to call that value 1 to preserve word. And it's a date, so it should be an integer, so it should be fine just as a value 1. So if it's equal value 1 and that, then I didn't like it. Wishful thinking. All right, cannot assign objects of DO point to date time point. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because we went to bar number point and then we switched it to date time point. So let's make the first one a date time point. Okay, let's see how we do that. Date time point is going to use the bar date time, and then it'll use a price level. So the bar date time, we use bar date time of the current bar. No, how many bars ago? Count bars ago, right? And then you don't have to do all of the bar number plus max bars back minus 1. You don't have to do all that. Okay, so we just do that, and then we will do HOD. Close that. Hit that. And that. Yeah, it still didn't like that though. Take an HL start point. Well, I think we need to do it here too though. So DT point dot create bar date time, and that's going to be of that current bar, and then HOD. Bar date time, DT point dot create bar date time. BM point dot create DT point dot create. Why don't you like it? Why don't you like it? Date time of bar, DT point dot create bar date time of 0. Do I really have to put 0? I didn't think I had to put 0. Nope, still didn't like that. All right, so let me see what I got here. Because trendline.create DT point, make sure. All right, it's this one that it doesn't like. DT point.create. I wonder, does it not like me mixing the two? A DT point with a BN point. I'm going to check it here in a second. Maybe it doesn't like the mixing of the two. Well, this is just going to be a repeat of this. So put that and then that. Yeah, it didn't like the mixing of the two, so I guess you need to have one method throughout. Okay, so even though I went and changed all that, it still doesn't like what I did here. HL.startPoint cannot assign the system drivers deal point to date time point. Okay, make that a DO point then. Okay. So it's still not wanting to give me back the date time. So I'm going to have to store it. So I'll just say that and I mean, this works for this code. I wish I had something more sophisticated, but I ain't that sophisticated. When I get to the point where I'm more sophisticated and I need to have a more complex or comprehensive code, then I will. But right now, I don't need to, so let's just work with what we got. So we're going to put start date. So this is essentially going to be the start date of the trend line. So we're going to have a start date. It's going to be equal to D. So if time is equal to 9:35, then begin. We're going to have start date saved as a variable. And that way, as we start getting toward the end and we're extending our line, we can say, hey, is our current date equal to our start date? You follow me? All right, and that should solve the problem. Is date equal to start date? All right. Yeah, I wish I had another way to do it. I've got to learn a little bit more about var date time points, getting information back from the date time points, but this is what I got for right now. So again, so we start here at 9:35 and then we go up to 2 o'clock, and it doesn't extend into the next day, and we get continue to calculate the high of the day. And funny thing about this is, like I said, there's, if you're looking for the high of day, then this is the high of day. So even though you're starting your line from here, that's not where the high of day is. So, let's do it this way. Let's say if time is equal to 00:00. Okay. All right, so now you get your high of the day, and it goes as far as whatever time you have. Let's just say it's got to be less than or equal to 2400 at the end of the day. Okay. Just gotta think for a second, because oh, that is right. That is right. Because when we went here, when we stopped at 2 o'clock or so here, we were only calculating the hive. We were only measuring the hive day up until that point, and then once we got past 2 o'clock, we didn't see any other higher bars because the computer was, stopped looking for anything because we were past that time. So, yep, this is it. June the 3rd. Now, where's our bar for today? We have a bar for every other day. I wonder why this line is at 1 o'clock instead of 12 o'clock. All right, but there are highs for every day. But again, where is our value for today? Where's our high for today? It should be right here. So if time is equal to 00, then start D. Here's the Interesting. What is today? Is today Monday? Okay. Huh. However we got this chart set up, there is no 00 here, right? So this one starts at, you look at the bottom of the screen, it starts at 1 o'clock, right? So 1 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't have a, like a midnight on there. There's no 0000. So you're going to miss the start of that line. And if you don't have the start of that line, then according to this script, the horizontal line is null, and so it doesn't calculate any other line. So if you wanted to put start the line at 0100 hours, well, this is technically be 0105. All right, now you get the lines. But then you see these lines will start at 0105 also. They won't start at 12 o'clock. So yeah, it starts at 0105 also. Won't start at 12 o'clock midnight. So again, depending on what symbol, what instrument you're trading, what sessions you're looking at, you're gonna have to make some adjustments for sure. But these are your high lines of the day. I bet there's already a script to do this. Okay, all right. So now let's do the low of day is just going to be a copy and paste. The counters will be the same, right? So we're just going to copy, paste, and then this will be low level, party time, low of day, up. Nope, this is, yeah, LOD, LL, and count 1, count equals 1, leave that, start D, is fine. Paste. LL. Cool J is hard as. All right. And low of day. Low of day. Low of day. Lower day. Lower day. It's a lower day. Yes, it is. All right. I think that's it. And we only need to do this because these are both being created at the same time. So we just need to say if HL is not equal to null, because if HL is not equal to null, then LL is not equal to null. I don't have a joke for that one. Yep, I don't. All right, where did we go? Set start point is not a member of the horizontal line class. Where did I tell you we're doing a horizontal line? Right there. Got to change that. All right, there we go. Now change this to red. ll.red, ll.color is equal to color.red. All right, and then that's already blue, so that's fine. Okay, so now you got your highs of the days, you got your lows of the days. And they're only on their day, and they will adjust as the day moves forward. Okay, so I will put this code just like it is in the library. So anybody who's interested and wants this code, all you need to do is join the Discord. And make sure that when you join, you verify, that you get verified. Folks who are verified will have a different type of signature, and they will have access to the alerts and the downloads. So, yeah, hope you guys got something out of this. I'm Eric. I'm out to the grocery store. Peace.